we're going to continue to see this stuff happen. We're going to continue to get what we deserve. All that marching, nothing changed. All that painting, you can paint the whole entire America Black Lives Matter and they will still kill you. Because signs and symbols don't mean nothing to people who don't care about that. If if you can't fight power with power, they do not care. Zionists do not care. Matter of fact, the Zionist people joined in, right? We had some of the mayors and governors who are Zionists behind the scenes, right? They pretend to be friendly in front of the camera, but they're Zionists behind the scenes. And so these Zionists participated in drawing and coloring with you. But guess what? They're not going to participate if you go to the courthouses. They're not going to participate if you're in Congress fighting for changing of the Constitution, changing of laws and regulations. They're not going to be there with you. They're gonna say, "Oh, I have another meeting to go to," but they'll participate you in dancing and singing in the streets because they know that's not gonna change anything. And I've been saying it for how long? And more people are gonna have to find out the hard way, and God forbid, maybe one day I find out the hard way, but I'm not finding out the hard way. I already know what it is, So I'm going to accept it. I'm going to be, oh well, it's time to go. God, I'm ready to go because I'm not putting up with that crap. But I already know. I already know what's coming. And you know what? I speak out about it. I'm doing my part. I'm speaking out about it. I'm telling us we need to get into the courthouses, we need to get into the government, and we need to change laws and regulations and so that these people know and that all of Americans know that everybody is equal with equal resources according to the Constitution now. Because the Constitution doesn't, if you read that Constitution, we're not equal. We're not equal in the Constitution. I don't know what people get. I don't know why we keep saying everybody's equal. No, we're not. Not in that Constitution. Not in the police department. We're not. Right. To banks, we're not equal, folks. To banks, one of us is going to get a loan, and 10 of them are going to get a loan. Right. We're not equal in banks. We're not equal at Fortune 500 companies. We're not equal in sports and for ownership or executive positions and coaching positions. We're not equal in nothing. And how they get away with that? Laws, regulations, policies, and the Constitution. So if you change that, then they have no choice but to make people equal with equal resources. Because now it's the law. Now it's the actual real law. Now it's written in documentation form. They can get away with it because it's not law. The NFL had to do a Rooney Rule or whatever that rule is to force people to bring in African American ADO people for interviews for coaching positions, executive positions, and they literally had to make a law, a rule to because these owners don't even want to entertain you for the position as the ADO as African Americans, and yet 90% of you people play the game of football in the NFL. They watch you play the game, and then they don't even. And then when you retire as a Hall of Famer or a great All Pro player, they don't even want to put you in as a coach. Godly. And guess what? They're allowed to do that because they own the game. Why don't we own the NFL? I mean, 90% of the players are African Americans in the NFL, and probably 90% of the players in the NBA are African Americans. So why don't we own the NBA? Why don't we own the NFL? Because we don't want to, and because of that, we get to stand up here and like Doc Rivers and cry. Because we don't care about ownership. We don't care about changing laws. We don't care about. All we care about is coloring the street corners and changing the street signs. And we believe that if we just march and change street signs and street colors, they'll leave us alone. Oh boy. And so I have to make videos like this every single 6 months. I'm making videos like this because we refuse to learn and we don't care. People get shot and killed and we cry about it and we continue to not care and we just move on, and then another 3 months somebody else gets shot and killed and the cycle continues and we hate breaking cycles, by the way, as African American ADOS people. We will literally suffer our entire lives because we refuse to break cycles. We will literally suffer and then put that on our children, and then they will go through the same suffering. We have a chance right now to change history, to change the future. And it's not through symbols and signs and colors, folks. It's through regulations and policies and laws and the Constitution. It's by changing that. It's by fighting power with power. Then you will see things change. When we break the system, then things will change. Because the system will be no longer in favor of these types of people who can randomly shoot you and kill you at will and not see one day in jail for it or prison for it. There won't be the Karens out there and the Kevins stopping you from getting into your own apartment and all these stupid stuff that we're seeing online that they're doing. The reason why they're doing is because the system protects them. If you break the system and you change laws and regulations and executive orders and constitution, when we do that, you're going to see all this stop immediately. Like I said before, these same people that do these things in America, they can't do these things in other countries because the system does not allow it. Oh, so it's the system. It's not really the people are only acting because of the system. They know that when they go to other countries and that system does not allow them to behave the way that they're behaving, they don't behave that way. It's just like going to school. Remember when we used to go to school and every teacher was different personality and you knew you could get away with things in Miss Johnson's class, but you couldn't get away with it in Miss Terry's class? So you act differently in each class you go to, and you know that, okay, in this class I can clown around, I can act a fool, and she doesn't care. But in this class, I gotta be on point. I can't do the things that I did in that class. Oh my goodness, I'll fail the class. Bingo. That's how countries work. In one country, I can kill African American people and get away with it. In another country, oh no, I'm gonna get the death penalty. I can't do that. In America, I can stop people, I can stop African American ADOS people from going into their homes. I can stop them from doing things. I can pull them over. I can pretend I'm this and pretend I'm that. I can treat them like crap. Oh, I'm in another country. I can't do that. The system doesn't allow me to do that in this country. So I gotta play accordingly. Folks, it's the system. Until African American ADOS people realize that, nothing is going to change. And we're going to continue to see them cry, continue to see them whine, complain, say that life is hard. Life isn't hard, folks. Life isn't hard. God created life to be easy. The system makes it hard. We must remove the system. You must focus on the system. Break the system. Isn't that what Iraq is? Isn't that what we're telling Iraq to do? Isn't that interesting that Iraq needs to break the system to see the revaluation of their currency and a new life? They're going through hardship not because Iraq is a hard place to live in. They're going through hardship because of a system. African American ADOS people are going through hardship because of a system, not because life is hard. Because there's some of there's African Americans out here that are having an absolutely wonderful life. They're rich, they're successful, they got multiple houses, they fly around the world, and they're living a great life. But majority African Americans are having a rough time because of the system, right? So it's the system, folks. And if we don't want to, if we want to run away from that, then we're gonna get what we deserve until we finally realize it's the system. So Doc Rivers and LeBron James and all of these people can continue to complain. They can continue to cry. They can continue to say that we fear. They continue, and that's not going to change anything because you don't change the system doing that. All you do is make everybody around the world look at you as weak people. That's all you're doing. And maybe it's a ritual. Maybe they're going through rituals right now. I don't know. But that's all we're doing is people around the world, when they see us, this is what they see. Oh, people, here they go again, complaining about somebody being shot and killed and crying and they're in fear and stuff. Oh, they're here. They're the weakest group in the world. That's what people think. That's exactly what people think. This is the weakest group in the world. Oh, here they go. They're in fear again. That's what people are thinking. That's what those Karens and Kevins and the Asians and the Mexicans and the Spanish people and everybody else and the Arabs. This is what they see. This is oh my God, they got these are they have most athletic people. These are probably the strongest people on the planet Earth. They have God's gift and talents, musically entertaining and sports wise and all these other things. They're brilliant people, but they're always talking about fear and complaining and how woe is me and things like that. And they don't realize it's the system. And these other groups of people, they're not going to tell you that it's the system. They're not going to tell you that because it doesn't benefit them to tell you that it's the system, right? Matter of fact, you being at the bottom of the totem pole is great for them because they get to be at the top of the pole, right? And they know if you break the system and and everything becomes equal, well, guess what? They fall from the top of the pole and they got to go right to the middle, and now they have to compete against who they call the secret, real chosen people. You don't think they know who you are? You don't think they see the gifts that you have? How high you can jump and run and entertain and music wise and sports and all the giftings that you have and all the trends that everybody follows, fashion, everything that you people do and we do as African American ADOS people. We're different people. I go on Instagram and social media. Everybody is copying ADOS African Americans. It don't matter where they live. You got people in Russia doing hip hop dances and things. I mean, it's just crazy. All the trends on TikTok, all the trends all over Instagram and Facebook and Twitter is all African American ADOS people. Everybody copies you. But because you don't fight power with power, you stay at the bottom of the totem pole. So I have a feeling I'm going to be doing another one of these videos in 3 months because we never listen and we don't never learn. At some point we will, right? At some point we will, but I got to keep doing what I got to do, right? I got to keep telling you people it's the system, right? And until we finally realize that, then once we do realize that, for you other folks out there, once we realize that it's the system, get ready to be equal. And when we're equal, it's a wrap, right? Because we already know we're at the bottom of the totem pole, and yet everybody follows us, everybody copies us. We dominate literally everything we touch. and we're at the bottom of the totem pole. Can you imagine if ADOS African Americans were equal with everybody else with equal resources? Uh-oh. That's what the Zionists don't want. That's why they created the system. They know how powerful the real chosen people are. Because if we weren't the real chosen people, you wouldn't have created the system, you Zionists. And matter of fact, Zionist is antichrist, right? To Zion, because Zion, the people of Zion were Christ, were of Christ. So when you're a Zionist, you're antichrist. Isn't that interesting? Peace out. God bless. Eyes open.